What's up, everybody? David Hem here on the Be Wealthy Podcast, and this is episode number 2. I got my fireplace ablazing. I got my portrait of Millie, painted by the artist G.S. Bullen. Big shout out to that creative being. Got the look, got the Java, and I'm feeling positive today. I woke up this morning feeling like, man, I can't wait to do another podcast. I like it. I've kind of always been doing a podcast on the IG stories or the IG or Facebook and trying to get a message out. Like, this very act of doing things is making me a stronger being, a stronger person. Even, you think about the elements involved, the mic, the laptop kind of showing, even the headphones, fireplace, all these little doodads just to enhance the experience for me, right? Because I have dreams of, doing a podcast. I have dreams of being a comedian. I have dreams of being a public speaker, and all these things I currently do in the yoga classes I teach. This is amazing, right? So, I'm lately I've been on the social media. I kind of like filter through, and I kind of see, I do my best to stay off it, but I also need to know what people are discussing, what people are tripping about, or what are bothering people today. So when I get this knowledge and I go to class, I take this information and I take it to class and see what's bothering people, what's causing people to be, upset, what's going on, why are people arguing, why are people hurt, and why am I hurt, right? And you can see it, depending on what social media you're on. Facebook, you could go on there, some people are making jokes, some people are offended, some people are being inspirational. Shout out Joe Longo. Some people are contributing to the problem even more so, judging other people for their actions. It's like, one of those things, when I see people contributing to the solution, right, when people are looking to resolve something or trying to do their best to make the world a better place, and then you see the people that are criticizing them, right? People are not contributing in that way, but they're judging people that are trying to contribute to things. And I get it. I understand. I've been in that place. I know what it's like. Because it's like, that's deflection. You're just, throwing harsh criticism towards somebody because maybe they're crazy, or you deemed them to be crazy because your resources was the media, and the media told you that they were crazy, and then you don't even know the person, but you only know what the media have told you. So that's how you form your opinion on somebody. Oof, that's ice cold, baby. That's ice cold. Anyway, back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected. So I'm going to let them understand. Baby. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes on Facebook. There's a lot that goes on in social media. People get to express their opinions, which, I'm a big fan about, but sometimes these opinions cross-contaminate and with others, and then you have arguments on Facebook. Like, when are we gonna know that, arguing on a social media platform where you're like, like that's gonna convert people, right? So today's topic is what I'm talking about, is agreeing to disagree. Learning to be compassionate, empathetic, imaginative, trying to understand what that other person is talking about, right? Because some people are just on there because they want to be heard. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of this hurt behind it. Like, we could get to that level, but I want to talk about the superficial layer, right? The layer that's on the surface, and why you know, we're exchanging such toxic behavior. Hold on one bit. So how do we? Like, for example, you know, I get into these little conversations at the dog park with a good friend of mine, and you know, we get into it sometimes. Like the other day, you know, I'm a bicyclist, he's a vehiclist, and you know, if you know about the world, there's this kind of unspoken beef going on due to whatever, and he was upset that he had to leave his car. He had to change his parking spot because he might get ticketed, and he was just like, you know, you bicyclists need to get taxed. I was like, I wanted to go into it. I wanted to be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that today. So I asked him, all right, how much? How much should I pay you? How much should I get taxed? And he started laughing. You know, so at that moment, it was diffused. Because I agreed with him. Like, I respected his opinion. Like, yeah, maybe we should. How much? I can give it to you right now. How about I just pay you right now what you feel I should pay? And we just started having a chuckle about it. I don't think I've ever used the word chuckle before, but there you have it, chuckle. And I like the word chuckle. Chuckle John Arbuckle. If you know who John Arbuckle is, holla at your boy. But anyway, so I found a common ground. That's key, right? And, you know, finding the common ground is a difficult practice, you know. But the common ground is that, yeah, we both have an opinion about something. There you go. We're both offended by it. We're both have an experience about it. You know, and if you think about this, right, you know, if we're not respectful and we're just, you know, lashing out and calling them, no, you're wrong. Like, what does that do to you? That's making it personal. And that's another key tip. We can't take it personal. We can't make it personal, right? Because it's not the person we disagree with, it's the idea that we disagree with. Whoa. Man. It's not the person we disagree with, it's the idea we disagree with. Now, this is part of the, I forgot the author, please forgive me, but in the book of the 4 agreements, one of the agreements, I believe it's number 2, is that don't take things personal. Because it's not. It's never personal. You know? Excuse me. Oh. Belching. You know? So it's not personal. So if we can get to that place, which in itself can be a practice of its own as well. So what we got shared reality, finding common ground, being respectful, let's see, and listening to the other person's position, not listening to reply, but listening to understand, right? Because when we understand, we have clarity, and then we can find clarity over agreement. And you know what listening does to somebody? When you're like, oh wow, that's quite informative. You know, you don't have to necessarily agree with them, but you know, listening to them, just the act of, and what that does, it humanizes them. It makes them be seen. It acknowledges them. All we want, you know. When you hear people complain, you know, it's not an opportunity to solicit advice. It's just an opportunity to listen to them, because that's all they really want. That's all what people want. That's what I want. When I'm tripping and bitching, just listen to me, please. compassionate ear. And when you can find that, they're more susceptible to listening to your position. We get it twisted when we're like, you're wrong. That's stupid. You're an idiot. Which I've had done to me plenty of times by people who are my friends. And fortunately for me, I have a practice where I could be like, oh, well, that's fine. That's not necessary, but I understand your frustration. Because here's the key, right? Here's why, we need to be right. We feel the need that we have to be right. We grow up, we have these beliefs, they get taken from under us. We find out things aren't what they used to be. And then we grow older, we pay bills, we have families, we get jobs, and we find ourselves in a rat race. And we find ourselves stressed. And now the people that we look to in higher places, like our government and stuff like that, and all these things that we once believed to be, you think about the holidays and all that, right? Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, Thanksgiving, all these things that we used to hold so true to ourselves, are lies. A lot of it are lies. We'll talk about that another topic, you know what I mean? So we get older, and we have experiences, rejection, humiliation, embarrassment. We have all these things that happen into our lives that dismantle the very structure that we used to stand upon, right? So we need to cling onto something. We need something to be truth for us still. Right? I am right about this. You can't take this from me. Right? So we hold on to these things and we argue with people because look, no. This is right about me. This is something I've held on to for decades. How dare you talk about my God or my religion or my practices in such a way that you have no experience about, which is true. We don't have experience of the other person. We will never, ever know what the other person is going through or what happened to them, into the shadows to them, into those nights when they were alone or when they were bullied, when something changed the reality. We'll never know. So yeah, you're right. You're right. So when I find myself getting heated, when I find myself internally needing to discredit somebody, I have to check myself. Because their experience is their experience, their truth is their truth. And who am I to say that they're wrong? No one's wrong. But somebody has to be the stable one, the mature one. Because in these discussions, right? I think evolution is based upon that, right? We can get where we need to get to. We're kind of in this stagnated place when it comes to development and evolution. Because look at our elected officials, right? Or your elected officials. All they do is bicker. So of course we do. If these are the people that we've kind of been conditioned to look up to, these people, and on the media, all you see is them is fighting and arguing and talking over each other. What do you think we're going to do? It's like watching our parents argue. You know what I mean? Most of us who've seen that, who came from divorced parents, who are from seeing abusive relationships with their parents, we tend to mimic that. Especially at a younger age when we start to see that. So we just keep inheriting these traits. But I'm here to tell you that we can start to heal these traits, right? We don't have to stay in a fixed mindset when these things arise. People, right? My people. Let's see. What else? Avoid putting somebody down. It's not necessary. Acknowledge that they have an opinion. Like, oh yeah, that's cool that you have that opinion. I disagree, and here's why. And then we can maybe get to eating pizza later, right? Using I statements rather than you statements. What else? Clarity over agreement. This is a cool. Shout out to Prager on this one. Rather than arguing, clarify your position on how you differ. Just clarify it. Oh, this is why I feel this certain way because of this. That's all. So there you have it, man. Common ground. Let's see what else. Common ground. Get to the exact nature of things. Finding empathy, compassion. Using I statements over you statements. Staying calm in the conversation. Because we'll feed off each other, right? Because there's nothing like anger is like a fire, right? And if you keep feeding it gasoline, it's just going to keep getting brighter and brighter. Being open-minded, because being open-minded allows you to gain more information. And when you gain information, this is what one of my favorite things to do is to be open-minded and allow new information to come in. And if new information strikes me the right way, I'm going to change my opinion, right? Because it's so hard to hear the other person when I'm in a state of anger, right? I won't hear the other person at all if that person, if I'm angry. All I'm going to try to do is defend my honor and keep it, and just keep escalating the problem. So, yeah, man. So in closing, we can get to a lot of places. We can make it to the promised land, if you want to call it that, right in here. And it starts with the individual. If we can't get to a resolve, if we can't even get to the table and discuss, I honor your positions. I dig it. I'm glad that you feel so strongly about something because, we need that. We need meaning in our lives, but we don't need to turn or tear the other person down because they have an opinion that differs from ours. I'm a being that's looking to help inspire the masses. I'm looking to help enhance the evolution revolution. I'm looking to help people gain a better better awareness about themselves. It's not an easy mission to go into, especially when the masses are against it. So, remember, check your states, man, because whatever state you're in is going to dictate whether we get to a resolve of a discussion or we just argue. All right, so thank you so much for listening. This is the Be Wealthy Podcast, WELLTHY. Check us out. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. I'm at the Healing Fields Yoga. Check us out. Support this podcast by coming to class, right? And let me know if you have any topics you want to talk about or you want to be a guest on the show. You can come hang by the fire. We can do the damn thing. We can talk. We can disagree to agree. No, we can agree to disagree. And I hope to see you soon. This is great. You're great. Life is beautiful. Find gratitude. Find the attitude. Achieve the latitude. I ain't mad at you. Love you. Peace.